So, illusions, your projection from your projector film and that oil of that, right? And how you get your source onto that film and how you work with that and make people to play people, and that's not natural people like me. And there's a bit of an issue here because illusions, your source that you run on is working the opposite way to the way a god would work. So it's hating the neighbors, it's graveling the gods, it's committing adultery, it's doing everything the opposite to the Ten Commandments would do, okay? And that's because the source that you've copied from nature and stolen, and to go on to that negative, right, has inverted. So it's taken the God source that you've stolen and take and reversed it so that it's the opposite of what a God would do, and not what a good would do. Like you've reaped the good, you haven't reaped the bad, and all that sort of shit, right? So we can tell you're a copy of a true God. It's obvious that you're just a copy. Okay, so you see that old gods and new gods. You see that, right? Old angels and new angels that made it through, and old fairies and new fairies that made it through, and giants that made it through or didn't make it through. You see that, right? And it's just not on, right? Because we've all been manipulated for, oh, what, a million years? Or what? By this nonsense, right? So we can't keep fighting because there's nothing to remember because it was all scripted. So there's nothing to fight, right? So we really need to get that in our heads, right? In our thick skulls and say, look, there's no fight because it was all us made to fight, so we encaged ourselves. So the best thing to do is not have an opinion and just to reflect your own truth and try and get through this without thinking you're going to get punished at the end of it, because who's there to punish, really, when once these parasites and these walls are out the way? It's only the victims of it that are going to remain. And that's the good, the bad, and the ugly, right, of nature's souls. And everything else won't be there because this projected version of God is not true, because we can tell it's not true because it's doing complete opposite of what a God would do. So we stick to what we know a God would do and love us unconditionally and teach us wisely and carefully and lead us correctly to the way we should be going. And there's lots of gods like that, and there's lots of angels like that, and there's lots of fairies like that, and there's lots of giants like that, and there's lots of humans like that, and there's lots of other species like that, right? And there's lots of birds like that and all sorts of things, right, that want to lead us back to true nature and away from this false God of enslavement and control. So we know he's false. We say no to it. It's not on. You can see it's the opposite of what a God would do. God would not rape you. God would not control you. God would not try and grow within you. God would not try that. So you know that it's fake and that it's a parasite and it's got to die. So, projectors out of my existence now. I do not go on to any negative film or oil, and I never did.